What's going on, guys? Mitch here from GAMBIN.BUILDS with another one on the FG Falcon here, and today I'm going to be explaining what you need and how much it's going to cost you to build a sub 800 horsepower FG or FGX Falcon. This will not apply to a BABF unless you do an FG motor swap or you do build the BABF Barra. But yes, it is suggested to use an FG one because they are much better. So I've got a list here. I'm going to go through exactly how much it costs and what you need. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this one. None of this is going to be in any sort of order. I'm going to be going over the power and supporting mods, and I am going to be using what I have used exactly for this car here specifically. I'm going to go over what I did to this. Obviously the numbers show, so let's get into it. We're going to start off with the Pulsar 3584 Gen 3 Turbo. That will run you about $1,125. Now, I opted to go with the external wastegate rear housing, and that was an extra $450 there. And obviously went with the 45mm Turbo Smart wastegate, and that was $540 there. Now, why would you run an external wastegate? A, it sounds good. B, a wastegate in general is much better to control your boost levels. Your tuner will love it. And anyone who knows turbos will obviously recommend a wastegate over the factory style one with the little rod. Moving on, 4-inch dump with a 3.5-inch exhaust. That'll run you about $1,775 from X-Force. Again, don't have to go with that brand. There is other brands out there. You can do whatever you please, but a 4-inch dump is recommended with a 3.5-inch. If you're going any bigger power, maybe a 4-inch the whole way through, but that works perfect with this setup. You're also going to need a turbo side intake and battery relocation because the factory one comes to the passenger side. So you obviously need to move that to the driver's side where the turbo is, and then the battery on the passenger side. That will run you about $480 from Ants Performance. Again, there's other companies out there, there's other brands. You choose what you want, but that is what I went with. PSR Stage 2 front mount intercooler kit with a throttle body elbow, and that will run you about $1,130. It is a big, thick cooler. Man, it's probably nearly 100mm thick, probably not, probably 80mm, and it's literally double the size of a factory cooler, and you can definitely see that there is money worth spending in that. It is honestly a pretty great kit. You compare it to other kits on the market, it's very well identical to other kits, and the quality is, I'd say, exactly the same. So you're gonna be saving fair bit of money there. The catch can kit, $400. Yes, on mine I went with the big 10AN fittings. You don't have to do that, but it is recommended to if you're going to try and push this sort of things. They do sell kits with, I think, 6 or 8 AN fittings with rubber hoses still, so you don't have to modify the rocker cover like I did. But I'm just going to go off that. You can get one off Ants Performance for $400. And that will work. To what level, I'm not sure exactly why, but yes, it is recommended to go bigger 10AN, weld them onto the rocker cover, do it all proper, but don't have to do it. You're gonna go Crocam's valve springs, they will set you back about $500. ARP head studs, about $550. Oil pump gears, about $450. I went with the Martin Ware ones, so the very good ones. Kind of something you don't wanna stuff around with, I dare say. It's better to spend that little bit extra to get that bit of extra quality out of it, because the oil pump gears, if any of them, not that Boundary have had any issues with them, but you want the best of the best. If that shatters, kiss everything goodbye. So it's better to just fork out that little bit extra, play on the safe side of things, and do it that way. So with that, timing chain kit, that will run you about $695. 1250cc injectors, now they'll run you about $650. Also depends on what brand you go with and whatnot, they vary. There's better brands out there, but I went with the Bosch. They're not in currently, but they will be in, and it will be making a little bit more towards that 800 mark. You're also going to need a twin pump surge tank. That will be located under the footwell on the passenger side. Is a neat little bit of kit. That is a Process West one. Yes, Plasma Man do sell one as well. It just depends on what kit you want to go with. But I'm pretty sure that is probably the better one. It looks very nice as well. Fits up there nice and snug. Can be a little bit of a punish to put in, but once it's in, it's out of sight, out of mind. works very well. You're going to need that to, yeah, you know, feed the rail, and that will come with a fuel reg and everything like that, just to keep the fuel up there, because yeah, don't matter what size you have in the tank, I don't think it's going to be enough to feed the rail. But anyway, I have a Walbro intake fuel pump. That's a 460. Yes, it's a little bit too big for having the twins in that surge, but it is E85 compatible, and I had the factory pump die the other day, so I just went with the safe end of things. So Walbro intake fuel pump, that'll run you about 250. The tail shaft, I have a 1000 horsepower rated GJ Drivelines tail shaft in there with the strange rear end yoke. That does come in the kit. You don't use the factory Allen key style, I would call it, thing. So that all goes. You got to get the strange diff rear end put on, and yeah, you got to do the bearing, do the seal as well. So it's advised that you get someone professional to do that, because they do need to be torqued to spec, because if they aren't, your diff's going to get very noisy and that bearing is not going to be very happy, and your diff ain't going to last very long. So the tail shaft will set you back about $2,650, and the strange rear end to get it installed and the bearing and everything like that, they'll probably run you about $300 unless you know what you're doing, or you have someone who can help you out, obviously. And from there, pretty much it's your tune. So your tune can be anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000, just depends on who it is, where it's at, how much time goes into tuning the car, because you know every car is different. It's not as simple as just uploading something, running it and whatever. There is things that can go wrong on the dyno and time that needs to be spent on the dyno extra. So that, we'll just throw it in the middle and say about 1,500. Now there is also miscellaneous things in there, like when you pull it down, there's shit that you're going to change regardless. Change every single seal on the top end, change, you know, the valve stem seals, rocker cover, reseal the bottom end, all that jazz. So I'm not going to include that in that. You guys can work that out. And obviously, yeah, it's just, it's up to what you want to do, and if you want to do the job properly. I decided to do the job properly because I hate doing things twice. So I took the time, did extra things, changed hoses, did all that. So that's entirely up to you. But anyway, the total cost for the parts alone, that comes to a grand total of $15,855 just in parts. Yes, you can get things on the cheaper side, you can get different brands and whatnot, but you're gonna have to do your own research, find your own companies, websites, everything like that, or you may have a friend who is a plug for you and can get you cheaper parts. So it all varies on that, but that is a ballpark figure of what you'll be looking at spending. I cannot comment on how much a shop is gonna charge you labor-wise, but honestly, I would expect anywhere from 5 grand upwards. 5 grand being on the low side of things, because you know it's much easier to pull the engine out on these things. So you got to pull the engine, pull the trans, do all the fluids, everything. So cater about anywhere from 5 to 10,000, maybe even more. I'm not the one to comment on that sort of things. Now, I haven't built the gearbox yet. I haven't done the twin hat diff, standard bottom end as well. The bottom end should be fine. Not like this thing's a ticking time bomb and it's going to blow tomorrow. It's only on a safe 23 pounder boost. It's not pushing crazy. We're not pushing it crazy. So the gearbox should be fine as long as you don't bash on it and you don't drive it in drive and let it kick down when you're getting into it. You just got to use the Tiptronic, because yeah, you'll snap an input shaft and do some serious damage. The twin hat diff, everyone knows the diff bushes in these cars are absolutely fucking terrible. So I would recommend doing that while it's out. Do the twin hat diff and a true track, whatever you want to do. That's entirely up to you, but I still have the standard one in there for now. Obviously, if shit goes wrong, then I'm going to be upgrading it to the twin hat diff. So that is pretty much all you need. Yeah, hopefully that was a bit of useful information for you guys. You know, if you want to build a Barra, or you want to build a FG or FGX Falcon, that's the sort of money you'll be looking at spending. And really, mod for mod with any other car on the market, it's just not there. Like, you can pick one of these up for about 20 grand, even less sometimes, more if you want to clean a one with lower cades and whatnot. Again, up to you. And man, to pump 15 grand into something mod wise and it makes nearly 800, it's pretty crazy. it's not really a common thing on most cars. So, you know, I spent 30 grand on a 6.3 litre stroker LS and I only made 420 horsepower. Now this versus that, this would absolutely smoke it. The Club Sport wouldn't have even compared to this car here. And man, that's coming from a Holden person through and through, and someone who obviously still owns a Holden, still loves Holden. So what does that tell you? I'm not being biased. It may seem like it because I have a Falcon now, but it doesn't mean I'm fully converted. I'm just gonna have Falcons and stuff now. You know, I like all cars and whatnot, but again, bang for buck, mod for mod, this thing kills almost everything out there. It'll be nice to see some more cars out there, some more built Barras, some Barra conversions going into things, easy money, easy power, bang for buck. You'd be stupid not to. So, hate to say it, but maybe Barra of the world. Yeah, so a few good videos coming up soon this year, very big plans. Cannot wait to see how far I go with this channel. I have so much in store for you guys. Next few videos are going to be taking this to the drag strip, you know, doing some pulls, doing some reviews, all that fun stuff. So I cannot wait. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And as always guys, guess we'll catch you in the next one.